Welcome to sportsbookreview.com, and this is a very special Boxing Day edition of the Premier League. It's week 15. I hope you all had a great Christmas yesterday. If you're watching this live, then make sure you have a great Christmas in a couple of days' time. Great fixtures coming up. Plenty value on all the away sides, which I'm going to love because there's hardly any fans. They're going into lockdown again. I'm going to have Matt and I'm going to have Martin go through this card. Matt came off a decent week again. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And over this period, we're going to be thick and fast. We've got another show coming next Monday, another show next Wednesday, the Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga for the new year. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't. If you have subscribed, then please put it in the chat. If it's the first time, listen, welcome. This is what it's all about. It's all about the festive cheer. And if you press the link in the description, that will take you over to the articles wrote by either Martin or Tan or Alex. And they had it off again last week. They had parlays and they had individual winners with a little bit more meat on the bone. First of all, Merry Christmas to you, Martin.
Merry Christmas to you, Flash. I'm loving the hat. I'm feeling more festive the more I talk to you. Yeah. Looking forward to Boxing Day fixtures. Queen Victoria introduced Boxing Day back in 1871. Since then, it's been a fixture of the football calendar, and it's always a great day for all English football fans. We've got some cracking fixtures this time around. Looking forward to breaking them down with you guys.
Yeah, there's great value to be had as well. And obviously, I had 16 seasons as a professional footballer, and Christmas Day was wake up. Kids, presents, off to training, come back, spaghetti bolognese where everyone else had sausages, pigs in blankets, turkey, gammon, lamb. Then off to the hotel Christmas Day night, Matt, and wake up ready for Boxing Day.
Yes, that sounds pretty enjoyable. First off, Merry Christmas to both of you guys, and this is going to be a great show. Boxing Day is a special day. It's always a fun one to watch and just to be able to see all those matches at once and whatnot. So it'll be a great time. A lot of interesting picks here. Yeah, went 3-1 last week, hoping we can do something similar here. Let's give some Christmas presents and not some coal.
Yeah, well, again, the Premier League just kicked me in the backside again. I had 2 winners, but then again, I had 3 losers, including my banker, which was Spurs. Spurs have now gone on the naughty step because if they couldn't beat the Leicester, or they didn't even listen, they were not even at the races. So for me, naughty step. Also, I said Merry Christmas to Martin. Being an Arsenal fan, he needs all the cheer he can get. So please send him all your best wishes so that he forgets about Arsenal, because I fancy we're going to be beating up on them again. It's the fade Arsenal train. All aboard. Here we go. Martin, Leicester, plus 200. Draw, plus 270. And Man United, a massive plus 145. I'm seeing more than green shoots of Man United's confidence growing, Martin.
It's a great price, isn't it, on Man United? And they have been in terrific form in recent weeks. I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is feeling a bit of pressure due to the early Champions League exit, but they are flying in the Premier League, and especially on the road. They've been amazing. 6 wins out of 6. Yeah, they concede goals, but they've banged in 19 in 6 away matches. They love playing away, don't they? It's that sort of soak up a bit of pressure and then burst out on the counter-attack with their quick forwards. That'll make them dangerous in this one. But I really do also think that Leicester represent a difficult opposition for any team at the moment. You know, they're second in the table, a point clear of Man United. They don't draw games, funnily enough. They're the only team in the league that haven't drawn yet. But I think they've done a number on a few big teams this season by also sitting back and playing on the counter-attack. So I'm not really sure how this one's going to pan out. I was looking at both teams to score. I do like that one, but I couldn't find enough value on it. So I think you'd have to go for the old Alex Classic, which is both teams to score in over 2.5 goals if you wanted to go on the goals markets on this. But yeah, I can't quite find the value, so I'm leaving it, but leaning towards Man United.
More than leaning, Matt, ye of little memory, Martin, because Matt, was it Fulham that went there just like 10 days ago and won 2-0?
Yes, exactly. And I mean, let's just get into some of the historical, results here. The last 4 United have won in this fixture. They love playing the Foxes. Martin touched on it. They love playing on the road. Right here, I can't get around this price though. It's one of those where, for me, I need to still see the lineups. I don't want to see Luke Shaw. I want to see Alex Tejas at left fullback. It's little things like that for me with this United lineup. Like that, you can tell right when they put the lineups out an hour before the match, like, wow, like Solskjaer is really going for it here. A nice offensive approach. It'll be interesting to see how he approaches this one. It's a good managerial battle between Rodgers and Solskjaer here. And yeah, I'm with Martin. I think United draw no bet for me, -130. I think it looks pretty good here. That's where I would go.
Man United all the way for me, and I've put them in a 3-team parlay as well, which I'll let you know about, but you'll guess as we're going down the list. Now, Matt, Villa +100, draw +300, and Crystal Palace at +300. Why are Crystal Palace +300? I just cannot see it. I think they're stronger. They've got goals in them. I see them as maybe a draw no bet is a bet to nothing.
Yes. Yeah. I think getting Crystal Palace on a +1/4 or a draw double chance, so you kind of have a head start going into this game. I think that looks like some good value here. I could not trust Villa really at this price of +100. I have both teams to score written down. That's at -140. That looks pretty good too. So, but really, it's a pass match for me. I don't really want to get involved in this one too much.
Okay, Martin. Villa, great win again last week. I mean, they won the 2 Midlands derbies. They got the 94th minute winner at Wolves, which killed my draw. But they go to West Brom, Sam Allardyce, and they cruised and win 3-0.
They really did. And I can see why Crystal Palace are +300, because they just lost 7-0 to Liverpool. You can't underestimate the psychological impact that losing 7-0 has on a team. They're going to be absolutely deflated as they go into this game. Let's not forget that Aston Villa beat Liverpool 7-2. I know football's not that simplistic. You don't just they're not just going to go and beat Crystal Palace 14-2. But I still think they could have a bit of a psychological advantage heading into this game. They're in great form right now. There's rumours that Ross Barkley might be fit to return to the starting 11, which means Jack Grealish could play on the left and enjoy a bit more of a free roaming role. Got a lot of firepower, Aston Villa. They're in good form. They'll be at home. Don't have to travel. I suppose the wild card is Benteke will be back for Crystal Palace. Players love scoring against their former club, so he'll be difficult to play against. But I still see why Aston Villa are the favourites in this one, and I'm going for them to win this game. I think they can get the job done. So +100 on Aston Villa for me.
Okay, and good day, Tintin, who's down there in Australia. We have everyone from all over the world. If you want to put in the chat where you're from, then just put the country and leave it at that. Okay, moving on. Fulham +230. Stingy price. Draw +255. And the Mighty Saints at +140. Now, I actually took +125. Martin, I think Southampton far too strong. It's less than an hour from Southampton to Fulham, so it's nothing. I know this is one of the favourite away games for Southampton fans, but there will be no fans. I think Southampton win this game, and they win it comfortably.
I think they could well win it. Yeah, I would definitely be leaning towards Southampton in this one. Not quite sure. Hopefully Danny Ings will be fit and raring to go. If so, they'll be very, very dangerous. The only worry I have, I guess, is the fact that Fulham have drawn their last 3 games. And it's not like they've been playing against, mug teams. They drew with Liverpool, they drew with Brighton, and they drew away at Newcastle. So they're on a pretty good run of form. They seem just to be a lot more solid at the moment, which is why I went for both teams to score. I can see Fulham scoring in every game they go into, but I can also see them conceding. And we know how dangerous Southampton are going forwards. But while you like to say they mark space rather than men at set pieces, so they're always liable to concede. So I think both teams to score looks like a good bet in this one.
Both teams to score, Matt, against the Mighty Saints, who got beat 1-0 last week against Man City, but they came out of the game with a lot of credit.
They did. They looked pretty decent. I saw the XG numbers. They were really in line with City there. It could have been a draw. It's one of those where, now it hurts a little bit with Ings set to miss here.
No. They're saying he's going to be fit.
He is going to be fit?
Yeah, they reckon.
Okay.
Which is surprising because I thought he'd done his hamstring.
I'm surprised by that a little bit too. So, Yeah, I would definitely wait on Southampton just to get him confirmed. I think that would be a big boost, but the line will obviously move. It'll probably then close around evens or somewhere around there. I have both teams to score here circled as well. That's one of those where I think that Fulham can get something here. They were really tough against Liverpool just a couple matches ago at home. Now they're at home here again. If they can get a nice crowd and maybe put Southampton on their heels early on and get a goal. But really, I think that the best way to go here is Southampton draw no bet minus 135. That's where I would, if I had to play this game, that's where I would be going.
Second leg of my parlay this. Southampton, I took them the plus 125. I know you can still get over and above that, so shop around. I see Southampton. There'll be no fans, by the way. There's the only two grounds that are going to be able to have fans now because England's gone into Tier 4, and London has especially, is Liverpool and Everton, and only 2,000 in them stadiums. So Southampton, for me, I think they pass them off the pitch. Next game, wow. Here we go. Arsenal plus 300. I'm going to come to you again, Martin, because they're your team, or they were your team. I don't know if you've got rid of them yet. Draw plus 280, and Chelsea at plus 100. That's what I got. I'm believing the money's coming in now for Chelsea, and they're around the minus 105, the minus 110. We've got to fade Arsenal, or do we get off the train because Arsenal might surprise us?
Well, there is always the slight worry that Arsenal might surprise us, but I think you have to look objectively at the results recently, and Arsenal are in dire straits, aren't they? Yeah, I suppose, you always think that the losing streak's going to have to end at some point. But Chelsea do just look far too strong at the moment. Back to winning ways with a 3-0 victory over West Ham last time out. That was a very impressive performance against the West Ham team that have been in excellent form. They've just got a lot of depth up front, real competition for places. Tammy Abraham scored twice because he's got Olivier Giroud breathing down his neck, and his place in the team's going to go if he doesn't keep scoring. Mikel Arteta doesn't have those luxuries. Aubameyang's been out, Thomas Partey's out injured, and they're just looking very light in midfield, very light in attack. And, I think only Burnley and West Brom have scored fewer goals than Arsenal this season, and they never keep clean sheets either. So they're struggling at both ends of the pitch. There's a few small positives. I know they lost 4-1 last night, but it was good to see Gabriel Martinelli back. He looks like Arsenal's best player. Bukayo Saka and Kieran Tierney look good down the left. But overall, Chelsea just look like the better team for me. So I'm going for a Chelsea win, much as it pains me. I'd probably go both teams to score as well. If you want to go for Chelsea to win and both teams to score, then you could get more value. I can see Arsenal getting in the score sheet in this one, but I can also see a sort of 2-1, 3-1 to Chelsea.
Yeah, listen, I've gone with Chelsea. I've gone with Chelsea just to win for this show. I've gone with Chelsea -1 on the Asian handicap at around plus 185 for the SBR collaboration picks. Matt, I only see Chelsea winning, so going -1 Asian handicap with a separate bet at plus 185 means that if I only win by one goal, I don't lose anything. It's a push.
Yeah, I like that. I think that adds some real value to it. I think that you could do some accumulators here, and you could complicate it, maybe get a little bit greedy here with like a Chelsea and under 4.5 goals for a little bit more value, because I don't see this one having 5 in it. I just don't, because Arsenal really have struggled to score. And Chelsea, I heard one of the pundits talking about it. Chelsea have Thiago Silva, a player like Thiago Silva, and Arsenal do not. And that's kind of where I'm at here. It's just one of those. I mean, I've been on the Arsenal fade train, and I'm just going to keep riding it until it falls off. So Chelsea here for me, and I wouldn't be shocked here. It just kind of seems like it's written in the stars a bit. Timo Werner hasn't scored in 10 matches. He's getting closer and closer. Doesn't it kind of feel like he's going to score here against Arsenal?
Listen, I think that this game's won and lost in midfield, and I think Chelsea's midfield is so much more athletic, so much more movement, and the pace of, we expecting Pulisic, he's okay. So again, he's got electric pace. They've got inventive players. They score goals, and Arsenal at home have got to come out. And if they come out and they get caught, I can see this game maybe being 2-1. I can see it being 4-1 at the end of the game when Arsenal are pushing to try and get back in the game. I'm all over Chelsea. So roll on the Arsenal win, eh? Okay, next game, Matt. Man City -700 Draw plus 950. Newcastle plus 2600. The only question I've got to ask is the Newcastle score, because West Brom did, and it killed us.
I don't believe they do. I'm hoping, though, to see Diaz and Laporte, that's who the pairing was yesterday against Arsenal. I'm hoping that they stick with that and not bring in Stones here, because I do like the partnership, even though Arsenal did score. Arsenal a little bit more lethal, in my opinion, still than Newcastle here. And I just see this one way. I see Man City winning to 0. I grabbed that at minus 120 earlier in the week. It's the only way that I think that you can go here. I wouldn't want to get involved in the Asian lines or at all. It's just, can Newcastle score? I think not, and I think City win this one. So City and win to 0, minus 120.
It looks like the way to go, Martin. It looks like the only way to go. Man City, they've got to chase Liverpool down. They cannot afford to drop points. I don't know about Newcastle. Listen, one week they look half decent, they look solid, and the next week they look like a chocolate fireguard, which is no good to no one.
Yeah, I really don't find any value betting on Man City this season. I mean, if they were playing like they were a couple of years ago, I'd be happy to give them, a couple of goal Asian handicap and expect them to blow their rivals away. It's just not happening this season. This is a team that drew 1-1 with West Brom, scraped the 1-0 victory over Southampton. So you could go, Man City in under 2.5 goals if you're looking at the recent results. But how do you go unders when it's a team like Man City, when they've got Kevin De Bruyne, when they've got the wealth of attacking quality that they have? I just think you should just leave them alone at these prices. Yeah, win to 0 probably looks like the best way to go. I'd just always be concerned that you can give away a stupid penalty in the 88th minute, which busts your bet. So I'm passing.
Yeah. Callum Wilson obviously is always a threat, and pace is always a problem because obviously they overload Man City because they pen you in. So yeah, I can see that, but I think there's a Man City win at 0. I think, Matt, you've done a good job there digging out the minus 120. Just a quick one. Derek, Merry Christmas, mate. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant one. And Clay, yeah, you read my mind. Chelsea is the third leg of that parlay. I think it pays plus 1,200, maybe 1,300, something like that. Now, trap game for me, next one. I was so close to pressing the button here, Martin. Sheffield United plus 350, draw plus 300, and the trap is Everton at minus 110. I think Sheffield United could do a number on these. I think they could beat them up. Double chance Sheffield United, or draw no bet Sheffield United, I think could be the way to go.
I'm going for Everton. I feel like I could be stepping into a trap, but I just can't avoid betting on Everton at these odds. I understand that Sheffield United may be improving a bit in recent weeks. They almost got a result against Man United. They held Brighton to a 1-1 draw, despite having John Lundstram sent off in the first half. But that was only their second point of the season. This is a team with 0 wins, 2 draws, and 12 defeats. They're on course to have the worst Premier League points tally in history. And they're coming up against the team that have won 3 on the bounce. That's victories over Chelsea, Leicester and Arsenal, who, traditionally should be in the top 6. They've really bounced back to form. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a former Sheffield United player. He'll be going back for a homecoming. He'll be keen to get on the score sheet. Even with players missing, they still beat Arsenal with a very mature performance last weekend. Both fullbacks out. James Rodriguez out, Allen was out, and they still got the job done. I just think, that's too good a set of odds on an Everton side that are in excellent form. Carlo Ancelotti's a world-class manager, multiple Champions League winner, coming up against Chris Wilder, who the magic seems to have rubbed off. It might be a trap, but it's a trap I'm happy to walk into if I can get these great odds, minus 110, on an informed Everton side. I'm going for it.
Okay, just a little one for Sue Me. She's coming out of the Matt School of Sheffield, not United, or Wednesday. Sue, it's Sheffield United. Okay, Sheffield United, completely different. There is a Sheffield FC, oldest football club. I think they're the oldest football club in the world. But we'll go to a little historian, Martin.
And they played in the first ever Boxing Day game against Hallam FC.
Hallam, yeah.
Wow.
Victorian era.
Yeah.
That's digging deep right there.
And before you ask, no, I wasn't playing in that game. Sheffield United versus Everton. I see Sheffield United getting something out of this game. Everton's a trap. I'll keep saying it. Yes, the hat may have made me go a bit wonky, but I'm telling you now, this is the perfect game for Everton to get turned over, Matt?
I think I found something here, and it's one that I had circled. I did not send to you, Flash, but I might add it onto my card here. Why is the under 2.5 here at -110? This one seems like it's going to be cagey. This one seems
2-1 either way, though, couldn't it? The Alex Classic is probably the moral.
Oh gosh, it's just not for me. I think that these teams will struggle to find the back of the net. I think that Sheffield's MO in this game to getting a result here is to keep it really, really tight. That's the only way that I think that they can approach it. Everton, some of their creative players are out. This one seems like a snoozer to me. I think 0-0's on the cards, 1-1, 1-0. That I think under 2.5 here. Why is this line not at 2.25? Why is it not at 2.25? It's kind of mind-boggling to me. I just think that these managers set up defensive here a bit, and I see this one staying under the 2.5.
So if we're getting under 2.5 at 110, are we going to be getting under 3.5 at like -155 or something like that?
Yeah, I'll dig it up for us, but that could be a parlay piece.
Yeah, because I see under 3.5, but I definitely see it being 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if United win 3-0. Now I've gone a bit crazy. Okay, next game. That's a trap, by the way, Everton. In case you didn't quite get where I was coming from, I think Everton's a trap. Okay. I'm not so sure about this one being a trap because Leeds got absolutely dicked last week, 6-2, and they were impressive. Okay, Leeds -130, draw +300, and Burnley at +375. Martin, Burnley look like the side that you don't go against again. But Leeds look like a side who will go and beat Burnley, contrasting styles. They just keep going forward, Leeds. Maybe even the Alex Classic.
Yeah, he said, didn't he, that Marcelo Bielsa, that he's never going to change Leeds' style after they took that 6-2 drubbing at the hands of Man United last weekend. He said they're going to carry on playing that style of football, taking risks, being ambitious, pouring men forward. So good luck to them. It's going to be very entertaining to watch them. That's how you get results like they beat Newcastle 5-2 and then lost 6-2 to Man United in their next match. You never quite know what you're going to get. Whereas Burnley look a lot more solid, a lot more resilient defensively. Ever since me and Tarkowski came back to form that central defensive pairing, they're looking unbeatable. Beat Arsenal, beat Wolves, drew with Villa, drew with Everton. That's terrific form. And at the odds that you can get on them, 4.9, I haven't looked it up, but you must be able to get a good price on, plus 1.5 Asian handicap for Burnley. Even if they lose, it would be hard to see them getting hammered here just because of the way they're playing. And Leeds have got defensive problems as well. Starting centre-backs out, click. And, they've got good centre-forwards, haven't they, Burnley? Ashley Barnes.
Yeah, I mean, you could go over 3.5 goals in the game because, listen, we've had 5-2 against a Newcastle side that wasn't they're not great at scoring goals. Then they go to Old Trafford and it's 6-2. So over 3.5 goals, that could be done by half time, Matt. I like Leeds at 130. I've not done it on my official, but I will be probably having a look at this game in play if there's not a goal in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, Flash. I think this is kind of an in-play game. It is. You touched on it. It's a clash in styles, not something that I really want to get involved with. I do think that Martin makes a good point. Maybe Burnley plus 1.5 is a decent parlay piece. It's -250. That's another one that could maybe be thrown in. I don't see them getting
-250
as a parlay piece potentially.
No,
it's priced that. Really?
That's beyond squirrel. That's beaver material of digging a dam underwater. Have you been you've been talking to Tan over the Christmas period, haven't you?
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that if you were to combine that with another minus, 180, at least you're sitting there at a slightly plus price in a parlay. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's just not a game that I want to get involved with. I do see goals, but I could see Burnley winning here. I could see Leeds winning here. It's really whoever style and whoever style really wins here, that's what it's going to be like. And I don't trust Bielsa. Everyone keeps talking him up. World-class manager, wants to, just play the same way. That is diabolical for me in this league. You've got to be able to shift and twist in this league, as we know, or teams like Manchester United, teams like that like to counterattack will beat this team down over and over again. So they've got to find a new recipe, some kind of new potion from Bielsa, because it's just really it didn't work last week at all. That was ridiculous what they did. So luckily I was on the overs there. So that was nice. But yeah, pass here for me.
Set piece goals looks like it could be on the card. So have a little look at the Burnley centre-backs who go forward, whether it be me or Tarkowski, because you'll get great value on them. I see goals right across that game. Next game, Matt, West Ham at plus 145, draw plus 255, Brighton minus 225. Why are West Ham such a big price? Because a blind man would say West Ham are far too strong for a goal-shy Brighton.
I agree. That would be my way to go here. West Ham, draw no bet. Somewhere in there, I don't see West Ham getting beat here, because Brighton, they find ways to not win games. That's just what Brighton do. The West Ham draw no bet is safe. I like them on the money line here as well. West Ham should be able to take care of business. Brighton just are Jekyll and Hyde for me, really. I mean, like we talked about it last week, their stats, they look fantastic, but they don't put the ball in the back of the net here. It's a really tricky match. I've left it alone, but I could see myself maybe getting in play here as well. And West Ham draw no bet would be the only way that I can look right now.
Yeah, West Ham at plus 145. I didn't think I'd be saying plus at the beginning of that number, Martin.
I just think, this is going to be a both teams to score game. West Ham have only failed to score twice all season in 14 games. That was on the opening day of the season and in their last match against Chelsea. I feel like they can get on the score sheet against a Brighton defence that they've got really good defenders. White, Webster, Dunk, they're all good defenders, Veltman, but it's the formation they play with the wing backs that play really high up the pitch, the amount of space they leave in behind. Even if Michail Antonio isn't fit to return to the starting lineup for this one, I still think West Ham will get on the score sheet. But they concede goals as well, West Ham. They don't keep that many clean sheets. Brighton have only failed to score in 3 out of 14 matches so far this season. It's the way they play. They're not like they were under Chris Hughton. They're not conservative at all in their football. They take risks. They pour men forward. Sometimes it works, they get on the score sheet, but they leak goals. They've got a poor defensive record, and that's why they're hovering just above the relegation zone. If I was going for the outrights, I'd go for West Ham. But, yeah, I think there's good value on both teams to score in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of them games. I think you could look back and think, why did you not just take the plus 145? But I'll tell you what's ringing in my ears is I went to West Ham against Brighton. I think it was last season, unless time's just flown by. And I think Brighton won 3-0. It was like, they just soaked up the pressure and they scored. I think Glenn Murray might have got a couple that night. I'll come to you, Matt, because this is another type of Man City game. It's your team, Liverpool, minus 700. Odds on now for the Premier League title. I did get them 175 and 180, plus 175, plus 187. Draw plus 900 and West Brom at plus 2900. Do West Brom score? And how do we find the value with Liverpool?
Ooh, this is a really tough one to find any sort of value here. But if I believe that, I think this way is going this game is going to go Big Sam sitting way back here and just trying to hold on as much as possible. And so I think that grabbing West Brom actually at plus 2.5 goals in this one would be the only way that I could really look. I don't think that Liverpool 7-0 them or anything like that, like they did at Palace. I think that Big Sam will set up here super defensively. And I've seen Liverpool many times struggle against a low block. And that's what I expect here. So still no Thiago. That's a player that I would want in this kind of match, to be able to pick the passes in the spaces and in between the lines and whatnot. So no value here for me, but if I had to play it, I would maybe consider here taking West Brom just to hold tight, 2-0, 3-1, somewhere like that.
I quite like Liverpool minus 2.5 on the Asian handicap, though, Martin. I fancy that them defenders are no match for the movement, class, and free goal scoring mood that they're in.
They've got a pretty terrible squad, haven't they, West Brom? They didn't spend a great deal in the summer. It's worrying,
Championship defenders, Championship
team. It's a championship team. They got Dejan Garner from West Ham, and that's about it.
Ivanovic.
Yeah, well, Ivanovic is like...
He's older than you, Martin.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's older than you, Flash. He's I mean, Allardyce has never taken a team down, but it looks like that streak could be broken this season. I think Liverpool win. It's just the question of how they win. I went for Liverpool and under 4.5 goals last weekend because it seemed pretty safe. Crystal Palace had been pretty solid defensively, and then Liverpool won 7-0. So I can't bet on them again this weekend. Who knows? They could win 7-0 again, or they could win 2-0, like Matt said.
Did we see West Brom scoring?
Not really, no. So you could go win to nil.
What about the win to nil parlay? Man City and Liverpool.
Not bad.
Yeah. Sounds fun. Minus
120. It's got to be around minus 120 again because they're both at minus 700.
Yep, it would be.
So there is a way to go there.
Yeah, I suppose with Van Dijk missing, Gomez missing, there's always a chance that you could.
But there again, we're talking about. Listen, this is where we got to look at them the way they're going to set up. If they're going to set up 75 yards away from the Liverpool goal, they're going to be very detached from back to front. So then all it's going to be is wave after wave after wave. I don't see creativity in the West Brom midfield, so they're not going to be able to pass through them. The poor lads up front are going to be so isolated. You'll need a map and a compass to find them. I think that this is more of a win to nil than the Man City, but at minus 120-ish in a minus 120-ish parlay, I think you're going to get very, very good value.
That looks good. The more you talk about it, I think win to nil probably seems a bit stronger than taking like a West Brom handicap.
Okay, late to the party though. We've got Rampage. He's always late to the party. Always. I tell you what, he is Rude Boy's cousin. Okay, and I'm not seeing Rude Boy today. What's he having a kip? Okay, last game. Can't go near it. Wolves plus 280. Underwhelmed by Wolves, and obviously we roll Jimenez and we wish him luck and hopefully he has a good Christmas. Draw plus 240, Martin, and Spurs at plus 115. Do you forgive them that abysmal showing of last week at home to Leicester?
Not really, because I think Wolves play in a slightly similar fashion to Leicester. They're strong in midfield. They don't commit too many men forward. They don't take too many risks. But when they do, they attack with pace and purpose, and they've got skillful players. So I never really like betting against Wolves, to be honest. They're always the sort of team that can pull off a result against the big boys. So no, I do think it's very good value on Tottenham, but yeah, my enthusiasm for them has rubbed off slightly. The early weeks of the season, they were playing with such freedom, weren't they? With Harry Kane was in a deep lying role and Son couldn't stop scoring. And it seems like they've really tightened things up in recent weeks and playing much more Mourinho-style football. It was working for a while. They were getting some really good results against the top teams. But I thought they were unlucky against Liverpool and then absolutely woeful against Leicester. So I haven't quite forgiven them yet. I'll certainly get back on the Spurs train at some point this season, but not just yet.
Podence and Silva, is it not Alex Classic the way to go here? Both teams to score over 2.5, not worried about who wins, because I fancy the Alex Classic will be better than Spurs at plus 115. Matt?
It could be. It could be the way to go. This could be a sneaky Alex Classic here, but for me, this is a tough one. Spurs, this is a fixture that Spurs have struggled against Wolves time and time again. They lost last time out 3-2. Mourinho was in the helm then. But really, I just don't like what I'm seeing from Wolves. When I watch them play, it's poor. It's poor all around here, and I expect Spurs to bounce back here. They must win this game. If they want to stay in this title race, they've got to win here. It's just as simple as that. No Jimenez. It's been a struggle for Wolves to score. That would be my concern with the Alex
And yet
Classic
they just beat
here.
Chelsea 2-1.
They did. I mean, that was a nice late goal by Neto, and he is definitely a problem. He will cause Spurs problems here. It's also kind of a lineup checker too. Will Traore start, or will they bring him off the bench? That's always very interesting to see how it goes.
He's overrated for me anyway. I mean, he's had more clubs than Jack Nicklaus.
I know. He is, but he can be a game changer on his day, that's for sure. So
yeah, he can, but no one knows what he's going to do. And I tell you what, he's built like an absolute mountain. You touch him, he goes over. For me, I think he's too muscle bound. Yes, he is dangerous because he's got pace, and anyone that's got pace is dangerous on. But what, 1 in 6, or 1 in 6 games, he'll do something. So I think it's a wide open game. I think
one day he'll be like the best player in the world. Sometimes it happens like that with players. They sort of.
I spoke to coaches who coached him, Martin.
Yeah.
Because I went and watched him. I went and watched him at like 4 different clubs, and I'm like, how is he not playing for like one of the top 6 teams? And I speak to the coaches, and they're like, you've not got a clue what he's going to do. He hasn't got a clue, and he gets to the byline, and listen, it has improved, but he gets to the byline, and he can pick someone out in the crowd. He's got no craft at the end of his pace. It's almost like he's still going at 100 mile an hour. I remember this is a lad who's like struggling at Middlesbrough in the Championship.
Maybe one day he just needs a good coach, and then he'll, get the end product, and he'll surprise it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's
a Spanish international right now, Flash. So
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's insane. So, but yeah. Anyway, just to finalize here, I have gone with Spurs at plus 115. I think they find a way here to win this match, and I just don't like what I'm seeing from Wolves. Every single match that I've watched them, they just look poor for me.
I tell you what, it's plus 130, someone's saying in the chat. And by the way, I've just caught out 87 of you watching, which we really appreciate. There's only 34 thumbs up. What's happening? It's Christmas. At least do it for once, you know what I mean? Just press the thumbs up. Please turn it blue, show a bit of appreciation. It's plus 130 for over 2.5 goals in the game. And that's not an Alex Classic. That's Tottenham winning 3-0. That's maybe Wolves winning 3-0. I think you've got to go against what they want you to bet on. They want you to bet you on no value, and that the no value is on the unders. Okay, remember we're going to have a 2-team parlay, so get your tips in there now. We're going to have a look at the official picks. But if you would be so kind, please, Fad. Martin, like War and Peace here. Villa plus 100. Fulham, both teams to score, as long as they only score 1. And the Mighty Saints score plenty more at minus 114. Chelsea, that should be plus 100, obviously. Everton, minus 112. And West Ham, both teams to score at minus 130. Matt's picks, Man City win to 0, minus 120. Tottenham, plus 115. And Chelsea at minus 105. My picks. And the top 3, I have gone for the minus 1 Asian handicap. So yeah, Man United plus 140. The Mighty Saints at plus 125, even though you can get bigger than that. So Chelsea minus 1 on the Asian handicap at plus 180. I just feel Chelsea win the game like the boys do, but I just feel that it's a push if they just win normally. But I have stuck them free in a parlay as well, but not for the official. And Crystal Palace draw no bet at plus 175. I think they're going to be too strong for Villa. I can see an Alex Classic there as well, but at plus 175 for draw no bet, I'm happy to go with it. Right, okay, 2-team parlay time. Let's have a little look. Let's see. We'll start off with you, Matt.
Let's go. I'm more than fine with United draw no bet.
What price is that?
I think that we maybe give a real big Christmas gift, Flash, and go with your treble at 12, 13 to 1. That's
what, Man United?
I like
Southampton
United.
And Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just do 2 of them? Why don't we just do Southampton and Man United at plus 140 and plus 145?
It's Christmas.
You like that, Martin?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, I did go both teams to score in the Fulham-Southampton game, but yeah, Southampton do look like the better team in that one.
Okay, Derek's going bonkers for Celta Vigo. Let's hope that they've scored, because I've done a 2-team parlay for everyone today live. It's Celta Vigo to score 1 goal and Atalanta to win at over 1.5 goals at plus 188. And Celta Vigo is my choice in the La Liga show as well. So we're going to go with Man United at plus 145 and Southampton. It's going to be at plus 130 because that's what you can get. But that pays muchos. And if it wins, we'll all be going, ho, ho, ho. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you again next week. 2 shows next week, Monday and Wednesday. So we'll be taking the midweek fixtures and we'll be looking ahead to New Year's Day's fixtures. Matt, enjoy your Christmas, mate. I hope you get many, many presents. Martin, no points for Arsenal, mate. No points. We're all on Chelsea.
Probably not. But Merry Christmas to all our wonderful viewers. Happy holidays, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. And look forward to seeing you all next week. Hope you have a great couple of days.
Okay, and I hope the men in the white coats come for Bobby Hooper, who said Matt's a funny guy. Matt who? Merry Christmas. Take care.